Good day, everyone. I'm Dankard Lexicon, your ruler-to-be.
Sir.
Right, fine. Where was I? Oh yes, a number of viewers requested we would make a number of videos intended for people who are interested about getting into steampunk. Considering it's the holidays, I suppose we can oblige this time. Where to start? Bunsett, why don't you explain to the people what a steampunk is?
Wait, why me?
Because that's what I'm paying you for.
Not really.
That's right, pleb. Now get to work!
Well, okay. So, we're gonna talk about what a steampunk is, apparently.
Radio Retro Future.
For those that don't know, the term steampunk was coined by writer K.W. Jeter in 1989 to describe science fiction tales set in the 19th century. The term was a wordplay on cyberpunk, and steam being a reference to the Industrial Revolution. But that is a story for another day. Steampunks are people that got inspired by such tales and can be of any age, ethnicity, gender, or creed. Forget the costumes for a moment. Yes, these are an important part of the scene, but some steampunks are not really into the cosplay aspect of it, and only wear fitting clothes for when they make public appearances with their creations, because it's expected of them, or not to stand out like one of those visitors that want to take a picture with you on conventions. So it's not the costume what does a steampunk make. Well? So the term steampunk came around in the 80s, but it didn't become mainstream until the 2010s. But that doesn't mean people weren't doing, as we call it today, steampunk. Artists, filmmakers, DIYers, writers, and other geeks were already creating things we today would consider steampunk. But how come? Personally, as a child, I always was very intrigued by the drawings of Leonardo da Vinci and the stories by Jules Verne, and loved to disassemble devices to see what they looked like from inside. Because I didn't know what these individual parts did, I made up stories about their function, and reimagined these to be high-tech science fiction devices like in the movies. Of course, I was a big fan of cartoons as well. Ninja Turtles, Transformers, Dragon Ball Z and whatnot. Other sources of inspiration you often hear from steampunks are the Warhammer miniatures and the Magic the Gathering trading cards. These memories stuck with me till this day, as for many people who are now considered to be steampunks. I say considered because those that use their skills to replicate the ray guns from the old movies like Forbidden Planet or created DIY devices like in the Ninja Turtles cartoon didn't consider what they were doing as steampunk. Not until other people told them it could be called as such. So you could say the first generation of steam makers were simple geeks that started making what they loved. However, there's something that sets them apart from the other fans of geek culture. They took a lot of inspiration from history. You'll find many steampunks have a passion for certain historical subjects. I studied history and did reenactment for 14 years, and you'll find plenty of other reenactors around the community as well. Then there are those that want to recreate Da Vinci's works, create historical costumes, or have a particular fondness for early literature, but to name a few examples. These people then started to combine their passions for history and geek culture, creating an anachronistic style often inspired by the props in films like Metropolis or 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. In turn, their work got discovered by fans of the steampunk genre and quickly integrated into the new community that could serve as a platform to promote their creations. This is the reason why many will tell you they were steampunk before they even knew what it was. Now the above scenario might not apply to every steampunk. However, when I ask my guests on the Radio Retro Future podcast, similar patterns keep emerging. A fondness for historical subjects, and the drive to combine it with something modern, usually geeky, which could be pro wrestling or a John Whedon production. This is probably why many goths and DIYers turned to steampunk when they discovered its existence. In general, many steampunks have a particular fondness for the Victorian era and the 19th century Europe and the United States. It's what most costumes are inspired by. But this is what I like to call the textbook description of steampunk. In the last couple of years, more seasoned artists have expanded their sphere of inspiration to include other cultures and eras. But I think it's fair to say that most steampunks use attributes from the period somewhere between 1870 and the early 20th century. But the interbellum and Second World War gear aren't rare either. I can already see the comments mentioning that this is dieselpunk, but that's a whole different subject which I will not get into right now. Like I said, Da Vinci's work is for many makers a source of inspiration, just like the machines of the Industrial Revolution. One of the major appeals is the possibility to actually understand how these machines work just by looking at them, in contradiction to, let's say, circuit boards, for example. Anyone could analyze and craft these machines themselves if they put enough time and effort into it. Looking at it from that perspective, steampunk is a part of the DIY culture that has become very popular these last decades. Online stores like Etsy are stocked to the brim with handmade objects inspired by steampunk or Victoriana. That is also what it has in common with cosplay. But there are some notable differences between steampunks and the general cosplay audience. Now we can debate on what should be included under cosplay, but for this video I will define it as an expression of fandom, where people will dress up like their favorite characters from fictional series or anime. Steampunks are geeks, just like most cosplayers. Most steampunks are very familiar with video games, writers like Joss Whedon and Rowling, but most of the time desire to give subjects its own twist or create something new instead. So you get steampunk versions of existing superheroes at one end, but original characters on the other. This is an important trait about steampunks. They take any object that anyone is familiar with and tweak it in a way that makes it unique to them, or make it their own, as I like to call it. Like steampunks turning their mobile phones or keyboards into retro-futuristic devices. As futurist Brian David Johnson described it, they want to have a different relationship with their technology. So to summarize, steampunks are creative people of any age that love to combine history with their own geeky nature. They're both creators and fans that love to socialize with one another and have created their own little subculture with its own particular rituals, etiquettes and musical scene. But I will discuss the community at another day.
I hope you enjoyed that presentation. If not, please blame Bonson. But if you did, give this video a like. Also, because of YouTube's new algorithms, they're literally killing our subscriber base. So, in case you haven't subscribed already, please do so. If not, also check you're still subscribed to this channel. Or if you're dead, well, I guess that's a little different, but never mind. Also, I guess I have to wish you all a happy Festivus, or whatever it is they are celebrating in this dimension.
Christmas,
whatever. So, happy holidays, everybody. Happy New Year. I guess I'll wish you all the best.